Welcome back in one of the Best Plays YouTube channel. Today is Sunday. It's April 20th. Happy Easter to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody's with family and friends, eating some good food, and celebrating Easter. I am going to go a little bit quick today. We have some playoff games to talk about. I'm going to talk about the games on Saturday night first. Pistons +7. I'm actually kind of in shock still. It was a 19-0 run for the Pistons after they got up 98-90. Boy, they should have covered. They should have covered the game. They even had it to 6 in the final minute 20. I don't know why they thought 6 points was so many that they had to foul at the top of the key with 1:11 left, basically shoving Jalen Brunson. Don't know why they did that. It was just a lack of effort in the fourth quarter, and it really showed on both sides of the ball. Offensively, defensively, they were settling for mid-range jump shots. The Knicks were going to the hole. Pistons weren't playing very good defense, and they turned the ball over basically every single possession in the fourth quarter. So that's a really defeating loss for the Pistons. A game they very well could have won that game if they would have kept continuing playing like they did in the first three quarters. Pacers -5.5, exactly what we thought was going to happen. They're up by 20 basically the entire game. The Bucks made it a little bit interesting, but I don't think it ever got to single digits in the fourth quarter. So 1-on-1 the game picks. We're going to see what happens with player props. Christian Brown over 13.5, finished with 11. Not very aggressive. I think he shot 10 times, made that really big three for the Nuggets. I don't know what was Westbrook doing in the final two possessions of regulation. He makes the big three. Yes, Russell Westbrook makes a big three. He was like 4 of 17 shooting. He makes it in the corner. Nuggets come down. They give the ball to Westbrook with 7 seconds left. You have to dish that out. If you're Russell Westbrook, you cannot hold on to that ball and hope you get the last shot for a three. It was horrible. He had James Harden on him. He pump faked, kind of tried to shoot a three. Completely got stuffed. I don't know if he necessarily got stuffed or it was just he didn't have a clean look. He was definitely waiting for the last second to take the three. He's trying to throw it off James Harden back, and he just turned it over for overtime. I love Russell Westbrook. I really do. He is one of the best point guards ever in NBA history. You've got to understand the situation that you're no longer the guy. You got to give that ball to Jamal. You got to give that ball to Nikola Jokic. You got to give one of those guys the ball late in that game. Didn't matter. They found a way to win the game. Christian Brown scored 11 points. Anthony Edwards going on right now, 31-30. T-Wolves only had like 5 points in the first 6 minutes. They are turning on now, going up against the Lakers. What's the score right now? I've got it up here on FanDuel. 33-30 now in favor of the T-Wolves. So we are 1-2. Looking for Anthony Edwards to get to 2-2 on the day. And let's go look at these plays for tomorrow. We're going to touch on all the games, but I'm going to take 4 plays. The first 2 games we're going to talk about will be the plays I'm going to be taking. The first one will be the Boston Celtics -13.5. This is what the Boston Celtics do. They rest basically everybody for the week going into the playoffs. They said it was a must-win game going up against, I think, the Jazz, their last game of the season or something like that. And then they bench Tatum and they bench Brown and they bench Porzingis. So really, they're just trying to get in the correct headspace going into the playoffs. The Boston Celtics last season dominated at home. They're going to dominate once again in this game going up against the Magic. The Magic are a good team. They're not a great team. They play great defense, but that does not matter going up against the Celtics. They have 5, 6, 7 guys, 5 guys for sure, even 2 guys that come off the bench and Pritchard. Those guys can light up the scoreboard. Boston scores 125, 130 points in this game. The Magic just simply won't be able to keep up. That's how it's going to be in all 4 games. I think this is a clean sweep for the Boston Celtics. They start things off hot here at home. -13.5 will be the first play of the day. Second play, Warriors going up against the Rockets. All season long, the Rockets have been the better team. They are fully healthy. They have everybody playing. Both these teams healthy, both full strength. The Warriors and the Rockets, whenever they meet, typically we see an under happen. I think the Rockets win this game pretty easily. I think I think the Rockets were underdogs to win this series, and they're sitting at the 2 seed. Do we have a way? No, we got to go up here, right? Let's go see what the Warriors and the Celtics are. We want West. Yeah, the Rockets to win the series are +146. You got to hammer that. I know Golden State's the trendy play. Everybody wants to see Steph Curry make another run. Jimmy Butler being on their team, amazing for them now because everybody knows you get a little bit of taste of playoff Jimmy. But the Rockets are just the far superior team. I think the Rockets will have no problem in this game. Will the Warriors probably get a couple games? Sure. But I think this is like a 4-2, maybe a 4-3 series win for the Rockets. I'm going to take them game 1. They're being disrespected here. They've been the best team in the Western Conference, or second best team in the Western Conference all season long. Give me the Rockets, -118 on the money line as the play. For the player props, we're going to take a little gander here for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Thunder. We're going to not take Jaren Jackson. We're not going to take Ja Morant. We're going to go to Desmond Bane to have over his total points. I believe it's 18.5 if I can find the player points. There we go. Yes, 18.5 points for Desmond Bane. Desmond Bane was really good against the Mavericks. He's been really good for the Golden State. He's been really good for the Memphis Grizzlies over the last several months. Ja Morant's been dealing with a lot of injuries. Jaren Jackson Jr. been dealing with a lot of injuries. Desmond Bane's had to really keep this team locked down and focused on trying to get themselves in the playoffs. That's why they fell a little bit in the play-in spot, because they weren't healthy going down the stretch of the season, plus they had to deal with the head coach situation. But Desmond Bane has been a very constant player for the Memphis Grizzlies. He scored 20-plus points in 4 consecutive games, 2 of those games against the Warriors and the Mavericks, obviously in that play-in game going up against Dallas. 22-point game in the last one, shot 15 times. Also, Ja Morant, a little bit banged up. He had a wrist injury and a hip injury and a foot injury. He's going to play in this game, obviously, but he's going to take a lot of threes. Ja Morant typically doesn't make a lot of threes, shooting about 30% on the season. I think it's worth a look to take Ja Morant 22.5 points, but I'm not going to take it because he's not himself. I know he had that putback slam, but he is not being very aggressive, or at least he hasn't been very aggressive that I've seen over the last couple of games because he's dealing with a couple injuries. So I'm going to go with Desmond Bane here, over 18.5 points. They've got to score a lot of points to keep up with that Thunder team. Give me the 18.5 points as the play there. For the other player prop, and we're going to talk about 2 player props, actually. What did I do? What just happened? You hit one button and you're all the way back to the main page. Come on now. Other play. We're not touching this game, by the way. I might not talk about this series ever. This is the disgusting number. 2 disgusting teams. I have no idea. Cavaliers at the start of the season, middle of the season, I'd put my life they win the title, and now I just don't know. They haven't been playing great down the stretch. I have no idea what's going to happen in that series. If you want my opinion, the Heat plus 12.5, just because they play good defense, and they're playing well right now. So Heat plus 12.5 would be my lean there. For the other player prop, we're going to the Houston Rockets. We're going to Jalen Green. It's going to be 18.5 points, I believe, as well for Jalen Green. Hopefully it hasn't gone up much for Jalen Green. He's not even on the front page. There we go. 20.5 now for Jalen Green, minus 102. I know NBA Central tweeted out something, but I also saw this on every major account that he broke up with his girlfriend and he's going off social media for the playoffs. I don't know if I believe in that kind of thing, but I feel like I want to believe in that kind of thing. So I'm going to take him over 20.5 points. Hasn't been the best going up against Golden State Warriors in his career, but his last game he scored 21 points. That's all we need in this one. 21-point game. They're going to have to put up a lot of points here going up against Golden State. This could be like a 130 to 120 game, or it could be an 80 to 90 game. I'm hoping for the 120, 130 game. I think both these teams are going to come out with a lot of firepower on the offensive side. I think Jimmy Butler's going to have a really good game again. I would take the 21.5 points, but it's kind of I don't know. I don't know. It's a little bit off for me on the Jimmy Butler. Haven't really been watching him a lot over the last couple of weeks. Obviously, Jimmy Butler is the playoff guy if you're looking for playoff people. But I do want to touch on one other thing. I'm going to add on, not an official play, but we're going to add on a look for Kristaps Porzingis. I believe he is also 18.5 points. A lot of 18.5 going around. Kristaps Porzingis, this has been the number all season long. If you get it at 17.5, it's almost a guarantee. If you get it at 18.5, it's like a 50-50 because he's always sitting on 18 points with about 3 or 4 minutes left, and then all the starters get pulled. I think Kristaps Porzingis in this game, especially in the first half, will be the dominant factor for the Boston Celtics down low. He's not going to take a lot of threes in this game going up against the Magic in his career, at least over the last several games for the Celtics and for teams like he played for the Wizards and the Magic. He has not been playing, not the Magic, the Wizards and the Knicks. He has not been taking a lot of threes going up against Orlando over the last several games. 5-4, 4-4. Usually he's like 7-8 from the outside for Kristaps Porzingis. He's still scoring a lot of points. 23, 17, 30, 17, 30, 35, 19, 24. He's putting up a lot of points against the Orlando Magic. He likes playing the Magic. I think he's a mismatch down low. I'm going to take Kristaps Porzingis. Maybe take a look at him if you don't want him, but I'm going to take Kristaps Porzingis as an extra play. Let's take him as an extra play. So 5 total plays for tomorrow. So for the NBA plays tomorrow, we're going Boston minus 13.5. Kristaps Porzingis over 18.5 points. Houston Rockets on the money line. I think they're getting disrespected just a little bit. Jalen Green over 20.5 points. We'll see what happens in that one. I'm just hoping for the best for Jalen Green, and maybe he locks into the playoffs. That'd be fantastic. Desmond Bane over 18.5 points will be the last play of the day. Guys, it's going to do it for the NBA picks and props for Sunday, April 20th. Happy Easter again. If you guys enjoyed the content, please drop a like this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.